The steps are the same every time for these. We're trying to get the y by itself, okay? So you're always going to subtract the x's. Okay, so we're going to say minus 8x, minus 8x. Okay, because the 10 does not have a letter and the x does, we cannot put it together. So I got 5y equals 10 minus 8x. Okay, so you're always going to subtract the x's and then divide by the number that is next to the y. And in this case, it's a 5. So we're going to say divide by 5. And we need to do that to all of these pieces. Okay, so 10 divided by 5 is 2. And then this other part is going to be 8 over 5x. Mm-hmm. Okay, 57 says write the point slope form. Okay, so we can label these x1, y1, and my m. Okay, point slope form goes y minus y1, which is negative 4, equals my m, x minus my x1, which is negative 3. Okay, however, we do not leave it like this, so those minuses need to become what? Positive. So this is going to really get covered up and be a plus. Okay, it's not a plus minus or a minus plus, it's just straight up a plus sign. Did I skip one? Yeah, sure did. Okay, write the point slope form. So we have to find the slope first. So that's going to be, yeah, that x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay, so our very first step is going to look like y2 minus y1, which is 5, over x2 minus x1, which is 5. Okay, so we can type that in our calculator and see what you get. It should be 6. I don't know. Somebody better double check it. Six. Okay, and so this is my m. This is my slope. And so we're going to do the same formula. Y minus my y1 equals my m, x minus my x1, which is 5. Okay, and so now this one is complete. Okay, 61 says write the slope intercept form. Okay, so that's just getting the y by itself. Okay, so when we see parentheses, we know to distribute. Okay, so it's going to look like y plus 2. Well, 5 times x is 5. 5 times 1 is also 5. Okay, so we're going to distribute and then either add or subtract the number that is by the y. And in this case, it's a plus 2. So we're going to say minus 2. Okay, and it has to go under the one on the other side with no letter. So it's going to go under this one. So it's going to be 5x plus 3. Okay, 63 says write the slope-intercept form. So we have to get it in this form first, and then we're going to distribute and move the stuff over. So it's going to look like y minus my y1, which is 2, equals my m, x minus my x1, which is negative 2. Okay, and that minus minus is going to become a plus. Okay, and then the same as we did up there, you need to distribute. Okay, so times negative 3 times x is going to be negative 3x. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. Leave that cracked, please. Okay, and then we're going to subtract 2 from both sides. Okay, and so that's gonna give me a negative 8. Okay, write the slope-intercept form. So this is the one that has all 3 steps. So you're gonna find the slope, put it in point slope, and then slope-intercept. Okay, so it's gonna look like x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay, so it's gonna be -1 minus -5 over -1 minus 2. Okay, so we're gonna start that in our calculator and see what you get. It should be -4/3, I wanna say. Is that right? Close. -3, I think so.
-4/3.
Okay. Okay, and from there, we're gonna say y minus my y1, which is -5, equals my m, which is 4/3, x minus my x1, which is 2. Okay, this minus minus needs to become a positive. Okay, and then the same as what we've been doing, okay, we're gonna distribute. So I'm gonna get y plus 5 equals -4/3x plus 8/3. Okay, when we times 4/3 times -2, it's gonna give me 8/3. Okay, and then, so after we distribute, you're always gonna either add or subtract this number by the y, and because it's a 5, we're gonna say minus. Okay, and so we're gonna be left with y equals -4/3x and 15, -7/3. I don't know. Somebody check that. What is 8/3 minus 5? 8/3, and then hit your over thing and say minus 5.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's 7/3.
Okay. I thought so, but I wasn't 100%. Okay, so this is the one, like, if you don't know, because it's such a lengthy problem, it's the one I would skip. Okay, so, now I don't wanna say skip, obviously don't skip it, but, if you had to guess on this one, or like the elimination and substitution, okay? A lot of the other ones are short, easy, okay, quick. This is definitely a lengthier problem, so, just keep that in mind. Okay, 67, is that positive correlation, negative, or none? It is a none. So if it's a none, okay, then it's none of these other ones, linear, quadratic, or exponential. Okay, if it's a positive, then you should be picking 2 things. If it's a negative, you should be also picking something else.
Mrs. Snee,
What?
is the finals gonna be multiple choice?
Most of it, yes. I haven't made it yet. I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay, solve each system by graphing. Okay, so we just graph these 2 lines separately. Okay, this very first line starts at 4, and it has a slope of 1/1. Okay, and if you recall, line 1, you need to make as many dots as possible. Okay, line 2, we make as least as possible. So we can go up 1/1 or down 1/1. Down 1/1.
Let me see if 6 to 7.
No, we did not. Okay, for line 2, it starts at -4. Okay, and I'm gonna go up 3, 1, 2, 3 over 1. 1, 2, 3 over 1. Okay, and we only have to do it just enough until 2 of our points are on the same spot. Okay, and so then we can write that coordinate, okay? And so the coordinate, we always do the x line first, okay? So I'm trying to get this coordinate, okay? So where does that touch on the x line? Well, it's gonna be at -2 and +2. you here yesterday?
No.
Okay, 71 is solving by substitution, okay? So we're gonna circle the equation that says y equals, okay, which is this one, and plug it into the other one. Okay, so it's gonna look like negative 5x plus 6, and instead of y, I'm putting negative 7x minus 3 equals negative 18. Okay, and then we need to distribute. Okay, so I'm gonna get negative 5x minus 42x minus 18. Okay, and then if we're looking at this, we can combine. So I'm gonna get a negative 47x minus 18 equals negative 18. You need to get your intern sheet too, today's Friday. Okay, so we can add 18 to both sides because he's the third wheel. So I get negative 47x equals 0. And then we're gonna divide by negative 47. So I get x equals 0. Okay, and I always say draw crazy around this so you don't lose them. Okay, here's what I can tell you. At this point, you should look at your answers that are given, okay, on the multiple choice and see, does any of them only have 0 for the x? Because if it does, then you don't even really need to plug it back in, okay? Once you can stop on problems, then stop, because you're not getting any partial points or anything like that. So if you're looking at 4 sets of coordinates, okay, and this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 1, and 5, 5. Okay, this is the only one that has a 0 in it. Okay, so at that point you can stop, and there's no point of plugging it back in. Does that make sense? Okay, so I would say do as little work as possible. Okay, but in this case, because it's open-ended, you do need to finish plugging it in, and it's going to be y equals negative 7 times 0 minus 3. Okay, which is going to be negative 3. Okay, and so the coordinate essentially that you guys are looking for is 0 comma negative 3. Okay, now if there's 2 that say 0 on it, obviously yes, you're going to have to keep plugging in and do what you got to do. Okay, we're going to cross off 73 and 74 because they're the exact same type as this. Okay, so 73 and 74, so I meant to do one easy and one. Okay, so these ones you guys don't need to do. Okay, 75 starts elimination, okay? And the elimination go in the same order. We're doing adding, subtracting, and then 1 multiply. Okay, so this is going to be adding. Okay, and you know you're going to add when you have 2 of the same number but opposite signs. Okay, so 10 plus 1x is going to be 11x. The 9's cancel, and then negative 17 plus 28. I don't know what that is. 11?
11, yeah.
Okay, and so from here we can divide. And so my x equals 1. Okay, again, from this point, you need to stop and look at your answer choices. Okay, and if one of them has the x as a 1, then you can stop. Okay, if there's 2, then you're going to have to keep going. Okay, and from here, we plug into one of the original equations. Okay, and in this case, I'm going to use the second one. So it's going to be 1 plus 9y equals 28. Okay, I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. So I'm going to get 9y equals 27. And then divide both sides by 9. Okay, that's going to give me y equals 3. So my coordinate is going to be 1 comma 3. We're almost done. The back page will go really fast. We have two more long ones. Okay, so we just did the adding, so this one's gonna be subtraction. You have two numbers and they have the same sign, so we're gonna subtract all these pieces. Okay, so 5 minus 5 is gonna cancel. Okay, -3 minus -8. Okay, so it's gonna look like this. And sometimes I say write it out just so it looks a little bit better. Okay, because then you guys know to change that sign. So it's really gonna be 5y. And then 30 minus 30 is gonna be 0. You might, I don't know. Okay, we're gonna divide 5 by both sides, and I'm gonna get y equals 0. Okay, again, at this point, look through your answers, and whatever one has a y of 0. What's today's date? Yeah. Okay, and so we're gonna plug this back into one of our original equations, okay? And that is 5x minus 3, and instead of y, I'm putting a 0 equals 30. Okay, well, 3 times 0 is 0. Okay, so I got 5x minus 0 equals 30. Okay, and hopefully you do know that you can just stop here and divide it out, but I know I'm not going to because I know a lot of you guys don't. Okay, so you could say plus 0 on both sides and get 5x equals 30. Okay, and then we're going to divide by 5. So we get x equals 6. So my coordinate is going to be 6, 0. Okay, 79 is the multiplication one. We are just gonna do that first multiplication step. Okay, so what would you like to cancel, the x's or y's? X's, okay, so which x is smaller, 3 or 6? 3, so that means that this one is the one that gets parentheses. 3 times what gives me 6? 2, okay? And so this is all I want you to do on your side too, okay? You don't have to go any further. Because if you can get that part, everything is the same as the addition one. Okay? Okay, 81. What needs done? Add 7 to both sides. Okay, and I'm going to do mine right here, but... Okay, plus 7, plus 7. Okay, so I'm gonna get x, and that's gonna be a -1. On the -1, is that gonna be open or closed? Closed. Going which way? To the right. Okay, 83, what needs done? Divide by 17 on both sides. Okay, what is 289 divided by 17? I genuinely don't know. 17? Okay, so on the 17, is that going to be open or closed? Closed. Going which way? To the left. Okay, when do we have to flip our sign? Yeah, so when we multiply or divide by a negative. Okay, this one I'm going to have to write down because there's more steps. But okay, our first step is going to be times by 2 to get rid of that 2 on the bottom. Okay, so I got 3 plus x, that's going to be 14. And then we're going to minus 3 on both sides. Okay, so it's going to be 11. Okay, on the 11, it's going to be open or closed? Closed, and then going which way? To the left. Yes, sir.
Can you pause real quick, just?
What?
I'm lost on it.
Oh, well, you're gonna have to go back and revisit, buddy. I gotta keep going, I'm sorry. I'll help you in a minute. Okay, 87, what needs done first?
The twos?
Combine the two. So what is -2 and a -2?
Negative 4.
-4. Okay, so that gave me a -4. Okay, who's the third wheel? The -4. Okay, so we're gonna add 4 to both sides. So I get -4r, and that's gonna give me a -4. Okay, then what needs done? Divide by -4. Do we need to flip?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, we divided by a -4, so we do need to flip. Okay, on the 1, should that be open or closed? Try again. Oh,
Yeah, you took it.
yeah, mine's messed up. Okay, yes, it should be closed.
On the right.
Go in to the right. Okay, 89 and 90, you guys can cross out. Okay, if you know how to do the other ones, then you know how to do these ones. Okay, 91, we solve these completely separate. So for the first one, I have k plus 3. What needs done? -3 on both sides. Okay, so I'm gonna get k, 12, 10, 9. Okay, what about for this second one? +1 on both sides. Okay, so I'm gonna get a 7. Okay, should those dots be open or closed?
Open.
Open, so 9 and 7 are both gonna be open. What does an or look like? Because this says or,
Out.
out away from each other. Alright, so they should be out and away from each other. Okay, 93 and 94 we can cross out. However, what does an and look like? And they're pointed in and connected to each other, okay? Okay, 95, my graph is gonna start at 1. Okay, and I have a slope of -1, so we're gonna go up 1 and over 1. Okay, should that be a solid or a dotted line? It should be a dotted line. Okay, and if you don't remember, it's okay, because you have notes that we made. Okay, is that gonna be shaded above or below? Above.
So why is it dotted again?
I'll answer you in a minute.
Wait, you what?
I'll help you in a minute, bud. Okay, the other one, okay, so 97 is the same, we're just graphing both on one line, okay? Line 1 starts at -1, and I have a slope of 2 over 3. Okay, so we're gonna go up 2 over 3 or down 2 over 3. Okay, should this line be solid or dotted?
Solid?
It's gonna be a solid line.
Is it because there's a line under the...
Yes, but you're gonna have to go back and watch review 1 video. But I can't. But so the line 2 starts out at 2, and we're gonna go up 1 and over 3, or we can go down 1 and over 3. Okay, this one should be dotted, and I did these kind of backwards. Okay, this blue line. Okay, this first one. Are we gonna shade above or below that line? Yes, that one should be below, which means that all of this should be shaded. Okay, this next line, okay, this one, should we shade above or below? Also below, okay? The area that is colored both times is gonna be that dark solid area, okay, where it essentially gets shaded twice, and that's our solution area, okay?